Parents in Alaska tell their kids a simple rule every winter. If you hear a bell ringing the wrong way, don't open the door. Because it isn't Santa. It's the one who comes before him, the one with the broken bell. They call him Crooked Santa. The Mitchell family lived on the edge of Fairbanks, where snow covered everything by November, and the nights lasted longer than the days. They weren't superstitious. They didn't believe in winter spirits or the old Sami warnings about the one who walks with the crooked gait. They believed in Christmas lights, hot chocolate, and the big sledding hill behind their house. That changed the December their son Ethan turned 8. It started with bell noises in the wrong places. The kids played outside after school, building short, lumpy snowmen and throwing ice-crusted snowballs. Nothing unusual, nothing dangerous. But every time Ethan stepped away from the yard, just a few feet, he'd hear something faint and metallic. Not a jingle, not a chime. Something bent, as if metal was struck at the wrong angle. A bell that rang sideways. "Mom, I heard Santa's bell," Ethan said one evening. His mother laughed. "Honey, Santa doesn't show up until Christmas Eve." But Ethan shook his head. No, this one didn't sound right. The snowstorm hit early that year. Heavy, wet flakes, thick winds, temperatures dropping fast. The family stayed inside, decorating the house while the air outside turned black and frozen. Ethan's sister Lily was the first to notice the shape in the yard. A figure, tall, lean, too lean. It stood near the spruce trees, unmoving, its outline barely visible behind the falling snow. Lily tugged her dad's sleeve. "Someone's outside." He looked. Nothing, just a smear of shadows and blowing white. He dismissed it. Children imagine things during storms. But later that night, the bell rang again. Not a clean, bright jingle, not the soft echo of Christmas cheer. A warped metallic stutter, like a loose bolt rattling in a steel cup. And this time, it came from the porch. The next morning, something new appeared in the snow. Footprints. But not the usual kind. Not boots, not human. These looked like deep, narrow impressions, dragging slightly to one side, as if the walker leaned heavily on an invisible cane. A crooked gait. The kids stared at the trail leading from the tree line straight to their window. Their mother brushed it off as animal marks warped by the storm, but the kids knew better. That afternoon, something tapped the window. A gloved finger, long, split at the tip. And then, the bell. But it wasn't shaking, it was scraping, as if something was dragging a bent piece of metal across the frozen porch rail. When their father opened the door, only a single object lay on the step. A small, carved ice figurine, the exact height, shape, and posture of Ethan. Except the eyes were empty holes. Their father threw it out immediately. But the next morning, it was back, closer to the door, arms raised. The final night arrived without warning. Christmas Eve. The wind died. The snow stopped. The world went silent. Too silent. The family prepared for bed early. Hot cider, a movie, stockings hung near the gas fireplace. Then, the bell. Not outside, inside the house. It rang from the hallway. Ethan froze. Lily clutched her blanket. Their mother's breath hitched in her throat. They all heard it. Rattle, stutter, crooked jingle. Their father grabbed a flashlight and stepped into the hall. The bell rang again, closer. Then the light caught something. A figure standing at the far end of the hallway. A red suit, but ripped and frostbitten. white fur trim but stained dark, a beard but thin like dead moss, and a bell in one hand, crushed, bent, dripping frozen flakes of something dark. Crooked Santa. He didn't move normally. Every step jerked sideways, bones shifting under the suit as if they weren't lined up correctly. When he lifted the broken bell, the metal whined instead of jingled. That's when Ethan screamed. The creature lunged, not forward, but diagonally, like its joints bent in ways a human's never could. The lights flickered, the air froze, their breath crystallized instantly. The father grabbed his children and shouted for his wife to run. They slammed the bedroom door, pushing a dresser against it. But they heard him behind it, dragging that bell along the wood. The metal whining, grinding, twisting. The thing whispered through the gap under the door, a distorted, bubbling voice. Wrong, child. The handle turned. The police found the Mitchell house on Christmas morning. The front door wide open, snow blown inside, hot cider still steaming. The only footprints belonged to the family, and one more set, deep, narrow, dragging sideways. They found the kids asleep in the bedroom closet, alive but shaking. Their parents were found outside in the snow, both unconscious but breathing. But Ethan refused to speak for days. When he did, he said only one thing. He didn't want me. He wanted the cold version of me. No one understood. Not until the officers opened the garage. There, sitting neatly on the workbench, was an ice figurine, the same size as Ethan, but now perfectly shaped, detailed, still glistening. Its expression frozen in a silent scream. And beside it, a small metal bell, cracked down the center. When the evidence technician lifted it, the bell made a sound, a crooked jingle. Remember what they say in Alaska. If the bell rings wrong, it's not Santa. And if you open the door, you won't notice the switch until after the holidays. That's the story. And that's all I can tell you.